everybody. Welcome back to Talking Movies with Blaine Childress. I'm here yet again with Blake Childress.
10 episodes straight.
10 episodes straight. I said there was going to be different hosts, but I lied.
I lied to you guys.
I lied to all of you. It was actually just going to be Blake here this whole time.
I was trolling.
I was just trolling with you guys. But, unfortunately, this is going to be the last episode.
What?
Yep, this is the last episode of Talking Movies with Blaine Childress.
You never told me this is a mini-series. I didn't have that in my contract. You had me contracted for 3 more seasons.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I might resume this.
This is like a little
personal thing. But who knows? Let's get right into the movie news.
That is the worst reference I've ever heard you make in the history of the show. In the 10 weeks that we've been doing this show, that is the worst joke you've ever made.
I'm sorry.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Dad.
So in the first, okay, bye.
I'm not leaving.
So in the first,
movie news.
First article we have here: why Fantastic Beasts 3 may have cut ties with Johnny Depp years after initial Amber Heard allegations. Whoa, getting spicy up in here. So what do you think of that? What do you think of Johnny Depp getting fired from Fantastic Beasts?
First of all, I don't care about those movies. Harry Potter sucks. That's a little bit of a hot take.
I love Harry Potter.
Well, I mean, like, Harry Potter's okay, but it's Fantastic Beasts that I'm not that interested in. First movie, okay. Second movie, never watched it.
Yeah, I never watched the second one. I watched the first one in theaters with you.
Yeah, but anyway, there's been a lot of controversy where a lot of people are saying if Johnny Depp can't be in Fantastic Beasts 3, then Amber Heard should not have the right to be in Aquaman 2, which she just doesn't care about, and DC's letting her be in the movie anyway. It's a weird controversy of people taking sides of, like, who do you side with, the man who's being accused of abuse or the woman who may or may not have been abused. Like, I looked into the case, and like I looked at some of the pictures that Amber Heard took, quote unquote took, where like people are like, like she said, like, oh, this is a bruise that he has, that he hit me with, or whatever. Like, this is a bruise that she had, and people are like, that's fake. She painted it on, and there's like just a picture of just Johnny Depp like unconscious on the ground with like drugs everywhere. There's a lot to go into. The one thing I find most interesting is that while they're letting him go for the movie, they're still paying him a 6-figure salary. I guess as like a severance package. Like, bye.
See you later.
But yeah, I mean, like, what do you think?
I don't know. It's just a lot of drama, and I haven't really looked into a lot of it.
I mean, I don't really care about like the movie. I guess I'm just more interested in like what's gonna happen to his career.
Yeah. So he's old.
He's an old boy.
He's an old boy. Next item on the agenda: what it was like to work with Heath Ledger on Brokeback Mountain, according to Kate Mara.
Who?
An actress. Have you ever seen Brokeback Mountain?
No, but I know of it, and I've seen a few clips.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I definitely want to watch it and get into it because I love Heath Ledger. I thought his performance as the Joker, the Dark Knight movie, was amazing, and I definitely want to watch more movies with Heath Ledger in it.
I've heard it's one of, I think his name's Ang Lee's best movies.
Have you seen any other movie with Heath Ledger in it besides The Dark Knight?
Not really. I know he was in 10 Things I Hate About You, and that's the only other movie I could recognize him in. Which is a little sad, because I'm pretty sure he has a much more prolific career. But
yeah,
that's all I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, I heard Brokeback Mountain is pretty good.
It's pretty good. Dwayne Johnson celebrates Moana.
Dwayne Johnson?
I said Dwayne
his
Johnson.
brother?
No, I said Dwayne Johnson.
I'm not stupid.
Celebrates Moana milestone with his daughter in sweet video. You ever seen Moana?
Yeah.
You have?
It was a weird experience because the first time I ever watched Moana was in school. We watched it in a science class. The teacher was like, "Oh, it's the end of the year. I don't know what to do."
Put on
Water,
Moana.
it's like water's kind of a part of science. Moana, and like the funniest part was it was an illegal experience. Like they were on like one of those illegal movie sites.
Ooh.
And like you could see
Blake's about to get some teacher busted.
and you could see like people walking past the camera that was recording the screen. The quality was terrible. So otherwise a pretty great experience of watching
Pretty
Moana.
great movie.
But it was a sweet video with his daughter.
That's freaking sweet, Lois. No,
I mean, like,
I haven't seen Moana.
I mean, what's the milestone? It's like, oh, we've sold 1 billion copies of the
I'm
DVD.
guessing, like, when was Moana released? 2 years ago?
I feel like it was it? I almost wanted to say 4 because I was in junior high when Moana was.
It definitely released before.
Well, wait. If I'm
It definitely released after Zootopia.
but Zootopia was released in 2016.
Yeah, and it released before Ralph Breaks the Internet, which was 2019.
Okay, so it's pre 2016, which was when I was in.
No,
junior
not
high.
pre. It came out after Zootopia.
What, after Zootopia?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it was about. It should be 2016 or 2017 because I was in junior high at the time.
You know what? Let's just.
We're just delaying everything.
Moana.
Can this podcast be 2 hours long of us?
2016.
Okay. Us investigating Moana.
4 years. 4 years. But no, I haven't seen Moana. Next up on the agenda for movie news, Vince Vaughn's Freaky tops the box office with a relatively solid debut. Have you ever seen Freaky? Or
I was going to see it Friday on Friday the 13th, but I couldn't because
stuff and things.
Stuff in life. I was gonna see it yesterday, but stuff in life.
Stuff and things.
And I was gonna see it today, but as always, stuff and things.
Stuff and things gets in the way. No, but I heard that it's actually pretty good, which is really surprising.
It's because it's from that one guy, which I guess at one point I'm gonna have to watch Happy Death Day. I thought that movie was. I heard that it was garbage, but apparently it's got like a 80, almost 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. People are like, "Oh, it's a great horror comedy," and it's like, "Oh, they should have advertised it as a horror movie." That's why some people didn't like it. But I mean, it's like I feel like I'd appreciate Freaky more because I think it's more of a ludicrous like idea than Happy Death Day. Like I thought that movie was actually serious with its concept. Like I couldn't tell it was a comedy at all. Which with the sequel they fixed that because that movie is literally a joke. But take that with what you will because people say the sequel sucks.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to see Freaky just because it seems like it's actually trying to be a funny movie rather than scary, which it's still supposed to be a horror comedy. But no, to answer your question, I've not seen it, Blaine.
Thank you for answering, Blake.
Thank you for answering. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's how the final podcast ends.
Yeah.
It's only 15 minutes long, and we're just bye.
Last item on the news.
What? Oh.
Wolfcop has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wolfcop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was doing gymnastics in my brain like Wolfcop. Wait, what was it on the one of the first episodes?
Yeah, Wolfcop.
100%.
No, because I saw this this article says 9 Shudder movies that you really need to be watching. And I remember that was one of the ones I said earlier. It was like 20 Shudder movies that are actually really good, and one of them was Wolfcop.
Wolfcop.
We need to get Shudder and watch Wolfcop.
We do. I love Wolfcop.
Alright, but last item on the news. Battle of Daredevil's Kingpins. Michael Clark Duncan versus Vincent D'Onofrio. Which one wins?
What is it? Race war, or is it like?
No, it's
or is it like
war
like,
between the two kingpins?
Like who would win in a fight?
So, did you ever watch the Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Daredevil.
Yes.
Did you like the Kingpin in that one?
I like Michael Clark Duncan.
He's hilarious.
He's so funny.
He's so big. Did you ever watch the Netflix show?
Not really, but I know about Vincent D'Onofrio, and I've seen clips.
I have seen all seasons of Daredevil, and I love Vincent D'Onofrio as a Daredevil.
As Daredevil?
As in a Kingpin.
I love Vincent D'Onofrio as Daredevil. He's my favorite hero.
He's my favorite Daredevil. But no, I love Daredevil on Netflix. For those of you who have Netflixes out there, definitely need to watch Daredevil. Hopefully Marvel doesn't delete all of them off of Netflix.
Delete. Well, I mean, like, to answer the question of the article, who would win in a fight? Michael Clark Duncan or
probably Michael Clark Duncan.
Well, I mean, you're right about that. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Like, Vincent D'Onofrio looks like someone from The Sopranos. Like, he's just Italian, man. Like, hey, man.
The donkey video.
Woke up this morning, got myself a sub.
Woke up this morning.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Even though I've not seen Daredevil on Netflix at all.
You should.
But, no. I would rather watch Iron Fist.
I'd much rather watch Iron Fist.
The greatest movie ever made.
It's a TV show, actually. Dummy head.
It was a joke.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't get your joke.
I didn't get your joke. But that's gonna end the last movie news segment.
Yay!
So, moving on to what we're talking about this episode. Since it's gonna be the last, I thought it would be kind of cool, kind of special, if we talked about our favorite movies of all time. I think we kind of brushed past what some of the movies that we really love and that we think are the best.
We've mentioned them briefly
here and there, and I know last episode, the interview with Trent, he said his top 10 movies of all time, and we just said like our opinion of the movies on his list. But for this episode, we're both going to share our own movie lists, sort of see which one, see if we have any that are the same, see if any of them line up, see if we have any differences.
And just discuss why we love them.
And discuss why these movies are the
best.
The best.
The spaghetti.
The spaghetti. So first off, I'm going to let Blake do his list.
Okay.
And I'm pulling up the list. And here you go, Blake.
Okay, so
talk about the movies and why you love all of them.
This is my list from my Letterboxd account, which again is Blake Childress, or you could probably just look up that one, Filmmaker. It's probably on there. Letterboxd, great app if you're into movies. Just look it up. But these are my top 10 favorite films of all time. I'm a very weird person when it comes to movies. Like personally, even though I've technically ranked them, I don't like saying like, oh, this movie's definitively the best. These are just movies that, like, if you said, hey Blake, would you like to watch this? I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to watch it. It's like I've rewatched them a lot, and they're just the most like enjoyable movies I've ever seen. But I can't definitively say like these are the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go through the list. So clocking in at number 10, La La Land.
Oh, that's good.
I love La La Land a lot. It's I mainly only recognize. I never saw the movie, I think, until 2017. I think when we went on our vacation in Las Vegas. I remember like we watched it as like a rental. But the only way I recognized the movie pre that was due to the whole Oscar debacle with Moonlight, which is pretty funny. But I love La La Land. Damien Chazelle is a very, very talented director, and Like, I don't know. It's like when I put on the soundtrack to that movie, I honestly have a really good time. The music in it is awesome. The acting is really, really good. I think a lot of the shots are memorable and amazing. I think like even on the poster with the dance scene that they have, the little park with like the purple background. Oh my god, it's such a beautiful movie. Yeah, check La La Land out. Don't let the Oscar situation be the only thing that you remember that movie for. It is an amazing movie. Number 9, Goodfellas by Martin Scorsese. I really like Goodfellas.
Is that your favorite Scorsese movie?
Well, technically on this list, it's the only Scorsese movie, so technically, yeah, I guess. Looking back, I might have to change this list up a bit. I might possibly insert Taxi Driver in one of these, because Taxi Driver is also an amazing movie. All of them have Robert De Niro in it because Scorsese loves Robert De Niro for some reason. But yeah, Goodfellas is awesome. I do believe like it is like, I don't want to say most parodied, but it's like I think it's like the most legendary gangster movie, or like at least most influential. Where like I think if you ask a person like gangster movie, name one, they're gonna say Goodfellas. It's like it's a movie that everyone has kind of seen or at least knows about, which I think is for a good reason because there's a lot of great things with it. The acting is great. I think the writing is typical Scorsese. It's fast paced. It's really it's great. And honestly, I think like the story itself is probably the most interesting aspect of like chronicling this guy's life as he moves forward in his gangster career. As far back as I remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Since I always wanted to be a gamer. Techno music.
Dude, we need to make Good Gamers.
Good Gamers.
This is the remake that Scorsese, when he dies, will make it. Yeah, it's a great movie. Definitely one of the best gangster movies ever made. I can't really decide if Taxi Driver is better than it, because both have their ups, both have their
pros and cons.
Yeah. I don't even want to say cons because I can't really think of many cons for both of them. Just both have their things that I love about them. Like Taxi Driver has amazing cinematography and amazing writing.
Amazing score.
Yeah, Goodfellas, number 9. Number 8. I recently added this in, but I kind of added this in since it's one of the most rewatchable movies I've ever watched. Like I honestly don't know how many times I've seen it. Number 8. Back to the Future. I have no idea how many times I've seen this movie, and it's like I remember like the most recent. I think I rewatched it on the Blu-ray, but I remember when I went to the theater with Dad. We went to go see Back to the Future, and despite the fact that I've seen the movie like a billion times, I had really I had to pee badly. I literally told myself I don't care if I have to pee. I want to finish Back to the Future again for some reason. Yeah. Like I wanted to watch as much of it as possible. I think it's just because like Back to the Future is, as a plot and as a story moving forward through it, it's so entertaining and intriguing as a concept, that like everything, it's one of those movies where everybody was there at the right time and the right place, and it's just kind of a magical experience despite the fact that, you know, like just like Ghostbusters, on paper it's kind of stupid. Yeah. You know, a time travel movie, boy and a older man, like
older man that doesn't know his parents.
Like yeah, it's honestly a very weird concept, but I don't know, it's kind of magical.
It's really good.
And the sequels, they have a place in my heart. Not as good as the first movie, of course, but the first movie is fine dining.
Fine dining. 5-star steak.
5-star French fry. Yeah, Back to the Future, number 8. Number 7 on my top 10 list, Gone Girl. Gone Girl is a movie that
let's talk about the movie theater experience.
That was the funniest, most awkward and funniest experience I've ever had in a movie theater. So there's a scene in this masterpiece of a film where Ben Affleck's runaway wife was with wasn't it Neil Patrick Harris?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, and they were
spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoilers for Gone Girl by David Fincher.
But yeah, they're hanging out, and eventually they start having sex. Which, I mean, again, we were watching this with our parents.
We were watching this with our parents while we were like
in a crowded movie.
We were 14. I was I think I was like 15. I think.
And I had to have been like 3 years younger, so 12.
Wait, what year did it come out?
I honestly have no idea. Your phone. Gone Girl, 2014.
Yeah, so I was 14 years old.
So was I 11?
Yeah.
Why did I watch this movie at age 11?
It's
terrible.
Girl. It's Gone Girl.
That's horrible.
Why did we watch Gone Girl?
We were messed up kids. I mean, Mom and Dad did show us a lot of messed up movies.
I don't know why they didn't just not watch it.
They're like, oh, it's called Gone Girl. It's
what's it rated? R?
It's
whatever.
It's a sequel to what's that one movie called? It's like Baby Gone.
Baby Gone. I don't know.
I don't know what it was called.
But yeah, Gone Girl.
Great movie.
Great movie.
There's a lot of great things in it. Ben Affleck, amazing job in it. David Fincher, very technical director. Script is awesome, and I think that just the concept. I feel like I'm just talking about
that whole scene with Neil Patrick Harris is a really good scene.
Oh yeah, but it's like I think I'm like constantly talking about how like the concepts are good. Maybe that's like the connecting thing with all these. Like I love
if you just have a really good concept.
If like you have a good concept and you can like if it's a good enough concept and you're talented enough, you can create like something that's great just because of the concept. At least if you're talented enough.
Yeah.
Because untalented person can ruin a good concept if they try hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gone Girl, great. Go see it. You don't need me to say anything about it. Number 6, this is a recent addition. We watched this movie like a few months ago. Not months ago. It may have been a year ago, I think. But the movie Super by James Gunn.
Oh yeah, that was way more than a few months. That was like.
Was it like a year ago?
That was like almost 2 years ago.
Was it? Dude, time flies by way too fast.
That was a long time ago.
COVID has ruined my sense of time.
Yeah.
But Super.
I watched that in my old apartment. I don't live there anymore.
Super. A very interesting movie. That's probably the most I have to say. Definitely. That's when people were like, yo, James Gunn, you should do more of this superhero stuff. And then, Marvel and DC eventually came knocking. Like, Super is such an interesting movie. And it's like, you know how we talked...
Do you think Suicide Squad's going to have that same tone?
I don't know. Like, Super is so of its own. Because, like, I don't know if we've mentioned, like, that... I think we've talked about Unbreakable before on the podcast.
Yeah.
Of, like... We always want like a more adult version of as like a superhero story, and not in like they swear a lot, but it's like it's intentionally grittier. And while Unbreakable is definitely a more like realistic and not mature, but just like realistic superhero story, Super is just gory, like, and it is kind of like messed up in its idea, and like. Especially with the idea, like, it doesn't, like, Rainn Wilson, doesn't he, like, have no powers?
Yeah, he's just a guy that just goes around and just beats people up with, like, a wrench.
Like, that one scene where he just beats up a person outside of, like a restaurant, and he beats him, like, to death, and people are just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, I'm serving justice!
I'm a superhero!
There's just blood everywhere, and there's, like, a part where, like, a character gets shot in the head with a shotgun, and it's like their head splits open. It is one of the most goriest movies I've ever seen, but it's awesome because gore makes a movie good.
Makes the movie fun. Jan, get with it.
Quentin Tarantino, thank you for that. Yeah, Super, great movie. Check it out.
Check it out, guys.
Check it out. James Gunn. Good
guy. I love James Gunn.
I was about to say that's no good, but
that's Sonic.
Sucks.
That's Sonic.
Number 5 on the list: Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. My favorite Happy Madison film. Never mind.
My favorite Happy Madison.
I wish he produced this movie. He's like, all right, guys. So Happy Madison, our new movie. Uncut Gems
with the Safdies.
Yeah, Uncut Gems is. I think the main reason I love this movie so much is I like seeing actors that I typically am not much a fan of venture into different territories.
Venture into different type of genres.
Because it shows their range as an actor. Because I've seen some of Adam Sandler's stuff, and again, he's I've always just been he is. I can tell he's talented. He just intentionally doesn't use his talent at all.
Yeah, he just picks the stupidest movies to be in.
And it's Uncut Gems is that moment where you're that's a good movie. He actually utilized his own talent. And I mean, it's not because, it's dramatic, makes it good. It's it's a good idea. It's very intense. The Safdie brothers are, of course, masters of intensity. It's a great concept. I think the definitely the cinematography and just the overall direction from the Safdies is great. The ending, even though some people hate it, is shocking, and it kind of, I don't know, makes you walk out and be like, wow, I just watched that,
Good movie.
Good movie.
Very nice.
Very nice. The number one, Borat. Uncut Gems, number 5. Checking out. Safdies are apparently not for everyone. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I've shown people Uncut Gems. They say this is the worst movie I've ever seen. So watch that at your own risk. But number 4, Trent Lamb, of course. Big fan of Wes Anderson. Number 5, or not number 5, that was Uncut Gems. Number 4, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I have to agree. Fantastic Mr. Fox is my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
It's a great movie. I've seen a lot of Wes Anderson stuff, and I don't know, I like Wes Anderson's movies, but it's I really just like his stop motion. It's
Isle of Dogs.
It's Wes Anderson has this sort of movement with his movies, and I feel like stop motion is awkward and stiff enough to where it kind of fits what Wes Anderson is doing. That's why I think Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs are really cool to watch, because it perfectly matches with his style. But I mean, his movies that are live action, they're also good.
They're pretty good too.
But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. Performances by everyone are amazing. The stop motion itself, great. It's really interesting to see how Wes Anderson can still implement his live action style with stop motion, where everything is still symmetrical, and I don't know, it's just a really interesting movie. And also it's got one of the greatest songs of all time in it, the Let Her Dance song by yeah, it's a great song.
I love that song too.
But yes, Fantastic Mr. Fox, great film. Check it out with your family. It's a family movie.
Check it out at your parties.
Check it out at your alcohol parties. When you're with your buddy, you're
your buddy.
Yo, bro, I got this really sick movie to watch.
It's just fantastic, Mr. Fox.
What? Oh, whoa, man! They're all talking, man. You're actually watching a static screen.
Yeah, you're just watching a black screen.
Bruh, this Wes Anderson movie's sick.
What are you talking about? The TV's not even on.
We're not even on drugs.
We're not even, you're just stupid.
Oh, man. But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox, number 4, great movie. Number 3, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I don't even know my first experience of watching it, because it's with these movies, I kind of distinctly remember my first time watching it, but I just remember this and Truman Show are definitely my favorite Jim Carrey movies. Personally, I think I prefer Eternal Sunshine even more than Truman. Eternal Sunshine manages to be
so
an even more personal and emotional film than Truman Show.
Charlie Kaufman, man, he's a genius.
Yeah, I think it's the visuals are very interesting, and it's just weird. I think some of the visuals are just freaky. Do you remember the part in the movie where like Jim Carrey
becomes like a little boy.
He's a little child.
Kate Winslet's like a giant.
like it's so weird.
Yeah.
But there's so many like interesting visuals. And I think the great part about it is that the visuals allow like context for the story. It connects to everything. And just like all the other movies, concept is really cool of in this world where you can just remove memories from your head. Great movie. Definitely one of my favorite performances from Jim Carrey. And Kaufman, good job.
Good job, Kaufman.
Good job. Now, number 2, Nightcrawler. I don't know why I have this movie at number 2, but it's just because, like, I don't know. I remember, like, the first time we watched that movie back in your apartment, because for some reason I've watched a lot of good movies in your old apartment.
Yeah.
But Nightcrawler is such a interesting movie. Not only is it great within what it's about, I think Jake Gyllenhaal's performance in it is amazing. The funny thing is that it's the only good movie made by the director, because the director is now just making terrible movies that nobody cares about. I think the last thing he did also had, was it both had Jake Gyllenhaal? No, it was his newest thing that had Jake Gyllenhaal in it that was on Netflix, and I ranked it as one of the worst movies of 2019.
Yep.
But Nightcrawler is his one and only masterpiece, apparently. I can't really, just like all the others, you understand why I like it so much from just watching it. It's great concept, great visuals, and the direction is just sublime. And then number 1, the thing that every time I tell it to people, they're like, what? That don't make no sense. Number 1 for me is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Now, it's a little hard to explain because, I mean, like, of all those movies, none of them are old. All of them are, like, like, mostly, like, 2010 or, like, they're post-2000s. That's because usually I don't, I'm not really that into,
Back
like...
to the Future. Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Ha ha ha, you caught me on my mess up. Yeah, never mind. Forget about those. I'm not talking about those. Those aren't on my list. But no, it's like, what I mean by old is like pre-70s. I usually never really watch pre-70s movies. But like Psycho is like the odd one out for some reason. And just like the others, it's really hard to explain, but I think at its core, the main reason I love Psycho so much, just like all the other movies, is it has such an interesting psychological concept, and the fact that, spoiler alerts, the main character, or at least who you think is the main character, gets murdered in the first 30 minutes, is one of the most interesting choices in a movie I've ever seen. Like, that takes some nuts, dude. There's a lot of, I think the score is amazing. Bernard Herrmann is amazing at just creating that entire score of the movie. And I don't know, you've all seen this shower scene, and it's great. I think the only thing I could say in Psycho that kind of sucks is definitely not necessarily the ending, but I don't like the end where they have to have a guy come in and explain what multiple personality disorder is. I mean, I get it at the time because like nobody knew what that was in 1960, so it's like you gotta have a character come in and be like, well, he thought he was his mom, but he was actually himself and he killed his mom. But I don't know, it's literally exposition, but it's thrown in the end. It's kind of lazy, but I get it. I guess you can just like turn off the movie at that point, or just skip forward to the actual ending with Norman Bates. But besides that, Psycho, great movie. Sequels aren't as good, but they're interesting in their own right. And that is my top 10 movies for myself.
All right. That was a good list, Blake.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
That was actually my top 10 worst.
Yeah.
Fooled you.
So, this is my top 10 movies of all time. I don't have a letterbox. I just have this list that's on my phone, so...
Number 10,
get
Borat.
Number 10, Borat. Number 10, Citizen Kane.
Number 1, Borat.
Borat. No, so number 10 has to be Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I thought you were joking for a second.
No.
It has to be. It has to be.
No, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's definitely my favorite Tarantino movie. I mean, I rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I really like that movie. That's probably my second favorite. And then third is probably Reservoir Dogs. But Pulp Fiction is a really good movie, really well written. Story is amazing. The actors, the characters, I just love all of it. Really good indie 90s filmmaking with Pulp Fiction. Number 9. Gotta go to Gone Girl. So Gone Girl is on both of our lists. Where did you put Gone Girl?
Yeah, check your phone.
You put Gone Girl at number 7.
Yeah, so a little close. Discrepancy of 2 spaces.
Yeah. But yeah, everything like you said, Gone Girl's amazing. It's dark. It's amazing. The technical aspects is really great. David Fincher
specific
is just,
with that kind of stuff.
David Fincher is just amazing. So you already said everything I was going to say. Number 8, Prince of Egypt.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I also like it.
Prince of Egypt is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. If you guys don't know what Prince of Egypt is, it's a DreamWorks movie. Traditionally animated movie by DreamWorks, and it's about the story of Moses from the Bible.
It's definitely not only one of the best interpretations of the Moses story, because that's like a constantly made like religious epic in film, but it's definitely one of the best, if you'd call it a Christian movie. It's definitely one of the best.
It's just a really good movie. Like, I love the animation.
It works and stands on its own.
The music is amazing in the movie. The animation's amazing. The voice acting is just amazing. It's just everything about it is just perfect. Number 7, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Really?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's my favorite Edgar Wright movie out of like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I really love Scott Pilgrim. It's an amazing movie.
Personally, I'm really into Hot Fuzz, but you know, to each his own, you know.
Yeah, I guess. Number 6, I have Uncut Gems.
What? Really? I put mine at like number 5 or.
Yours is number 5.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems. It was a toss up between Uncut Gems and Good Time for my favorite Safdie brothers movie, but
both of them are on par.
Yeah, both of them are really amazing. It was really hard for me to choose. If I could say 2 movies get a number spot, I would say both Uncut Gems and Good Time get the number 6 spot. They're both amazing movies, and Blake already said everything that's amazing in Uncut Gems, so I won't dwell on it. Number 5, WALL-E.
No, that's
WALL-E,
an interesting movie.
WALL-E's my favorite Pixar movie. It was one I saw in theaters, and it just changed my life when I watched it, and especially when I got older and I started noticing more story things, and I started appreciating it more and more for being an animated movie that's able to communicate as much as it did without saying words, because the 2 main characters, Wally and Eva,
don't have much dialogue.
Don't say anything, or well, they do, but they only say like a select few words. But they come across this big human like connection that it's really amazing. Best Pixar movie in my opinion.
Don't tell. High five.
High five. Number 4, my favorite my favorite international film, or like what's the other word for it?
Foreign film?
Foreign film. My favorite foreign film has to be In the Mood for Love, Wong Kar-wai.
Jesus, that is a very niche pick.
It's amazing.
I only do American movies.
I watched it I watched it like a couple weeks ago for a school thing. That was when I first watched it, for the first time. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's from China.
When was it made?
In 2000. It's a movie from China. It's a really good movie. It's on HBO Max. It's like, as soon as I watched it again because it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Number 3, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Wow. So, we have a lot of similar choices.
Exactly.
I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Brother.
You put Fantastic Mr. Fox at number 4. Mm-hmm. Mine's at number 3.
So that means I think it's worse than you think.
Blake already said everything that's amazing about Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Wes Anderson is smart.
Wes Anderson smart. Number 2, Her.
Fortnite.
It's number 2, Fortnite. No, Her is like the best. What literally one and 2 I kind of toss up in my head for favorite movie of all time. Or the number 1 spot is a toss up between 3 movies, but we'll get to that. But Her is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely like the movie that I think, or at least modern movie, I guess, since it came out in the last decade. I definitely think it's one of the best movies of all time. Spike Jonze, like, holy crap, where did that come from? That was a guy that was working on like Jackass and all that, and he made this movie that's like a beautiful like piece of art. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen Her?
No, but I plan on actually watching.
You need to, because it'll change your life. So, number 1.
You said it was a toss-up between 3 movies?
Yeah. So, number 1, I have to give it to 2001: A Space Odyssey. The best Kubrick movie, and I honestly think is the best movie of all time. Like, I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. Every time I watch it, I get something different out of it every single time I watch it. And that's why that movie is so amazing. That's why all these movies are so amazing, because every single time I rewatch them, I experience something different and I still get moved by the characters in the movie. So the 3 movies that I get tossed up between number 1 is 3 Kubrick movies.
Wow.
This, Shining, and A Clockwork Orange. I toss those up like literally every single day. My opinion changes to which one I prefer, because it's really hard, because all 3 of those movies are perfect and amazing in their own ways. But for right now, when I'm thinking of the best Kubrick movie, I think of 2001: A Space Odyssey. But that could change at any point. Like, it could literally be A Clockwork Orange one week, or it could be The Shining one week. Just those 3 movies are the perfect movie, and I don't care what you say, but
regardless, you're just into Kubrick.
I am a Kubrick nerd. You're a Hitchcock nerd, I'm a Kubrick nerd.
Both dead.
Both dead. So we idolize.
Live long life, guys.
Live long live life, guys.
Long live life.
So yeah, that's gonna about do it for not only this episode but for this series as well. It's been a good
10 weeks.
10 weeks. I loved doing this podcast with you. Getting to sit down once a week and just talk about movies for like an hour. It's been a really good experience, and I can't wait to do something else that's sort of like this, or if we could continue it sometime else in the future, maybe after COVID is finished. I mean, have you heard recently that they just found the vaccine for COVID?
Yeah, and all those political talks like, oh, after the election they found the vaccine. Like,
Yeah.
all that crap.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, hey, COVID it might be over in the next coming months, but a lot of people, doubt that. But regardless, let's all look on the bright side. Hope for the best.
Yeah, hopefully we can all go back to, be able to go into places without wearing a mask and, all these rules. Hopefully, movies will come back. I definitely think so. Because that was what this whole series was about. It allowed people who, if they wanted to stay indoors and not want to go out,
they can listen.
They could listen to us talking about movies that they could watch to pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope that we were able to give all you guys different movie recommendations from all the movies we just mentioned, or the movies that we review, or the movies that we say when we talk about like our favorite movies.
Mm.
We hope we were helpful with making
giving you an experience,
giving you some movies to watch while being stuck in quarantine, if you choose to do that. But we hope you all have enjoyed the series. Blake, I know with each outro I always cut you off, but for this one I'm going to let you speak. I'm going to let you say what you've been wanting to say this whole time. But this is Blake Childress, also known as That One Filmmaker on YouTube. Look up That One Filmmaker on YouTube if you want to see more stuff made by Blake. And I'm in a lot of his videos, or some of his videos.
Yep.
So if you want to see more and watch some content, rather than just listening to us babble on for an hour, you can watch some pretty funny, I have to say so myself, edited YouTube videos that have to do with movies as well. So be sure to go to YouTube or go to his Letterboxd, look at his Letterboxd reviews, or go check out his Instagram, which is That One Filmmaker.
It's like that, and then like number 1, and then the word 1 filmmaker.
Yeah. And go follow him on there. So Blake, and I am Blaine Childress, and this has been Talking Movies. Blake, and I'm Blaine Childress.
No, it's like I thought you were like cutting me off. Like, and I'm Blaine. I'm brother of legendary Blake Childress.
Yeah, no. Blake, any final words? Don't want to cut you off this time. What have you been wanting to say this whole time?
Balls.
Thank you. Alright.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.